All right, ramble time. This one's about love versus like. Because, I guess on some level I always, you know, had this philosophy, but it really crystallized now in light of certain events. And now it made me go back and like look at things from a different angle, and that's always a good thing. That's always a good thing. The worst that could happen is that it reaffirms what you already believed. At the very worst. So I think people in general, I think this is a fair generalization now. I think this is a fair one. Mistake liking someone for loving someone. I think that is a fundamental flaw in humanity. Yeah. Um, and you know what? This is Thoughtbox 15. Yeah. This isn't what the plan was, but it's big enough and fundamentally enough for it to be a Thoughtbox. So, my Arabic friend, since all roads leads through her. For me, I've never stopped, even as I record this now, I've never stopped loving her. Liking her, oh yeah, there's been points where I haven't liked her, sure. And even those, when I look back on it now, it's like, maybe about 3/4 of those wasn't even on her. It's very few and far between the things about her I don't like, because the love I have for her kind of overshadows those things for the most part. Um, a big part of it for me with her was I didn't feel like she loved me. And I think that's a fair thing to say, even in light of all the stuff I'm saying right now, because, I mean, she didn't really know me, as evidenced by how things fell apart, you know. And that's fair, you know. A lot of people that tell love was the thing that caused me, at least the word, that's a scary thing, was the thing that caused something else to fall apart. Um, but that's a kind of symptom thing of someone saying something to them and not meaning it, and they believed it, and then they found out the person was lying to them, and they shattered everything. So now the next person who comes along who says those words that mean it, well, they screwed. So, but I realize now that my Arabic friend liked me because, not to get too into like putting her business out there, right? One of the last things she said to me after I tried to reconnect, and was that I like deleted her, basically walked away from her too many times. I guess it's one too many times. And my thinking is this, right? And this is where unequally yoked people fall apart. My thinking is this: because I love you, I'm gonna walk away for a while, because I know if I stick around, the things about you and about the situation that I don't like will cause a problem. It would lessen me, and by extension lessen you, because I don't want to give someone I love anything less than the best that I could offer. And if that means walking away for a bit, and coming back and saying that that's the case for the sake of love, and you end up not liking what I did or me for doing that, I don't know what to say to you, because you know that's just what's gonna happen. It if you had done the same thing to me, and even if you did maliciously, whatever, right? Even if, when people do stuff to me that I don't like, it don't make me love them any less. It's what it is. Love is a whole thing. And it is work. It's sacrifice. It's pain in love. Liking easy. You like someone because they're beautiful. You like someone because they're smart. They're funny. You like someone because of all these things. All these things can go away. You like the color of their eyes. Like these nothing things, right? Love is they could be, they could spit in your face. They could slap you. They could do all kind of stuff to you, and it don't really matter. Love really does conquer all. We unlike. We try and plug like into that statement of liking conquers all. Oh no, it doesn't. We've seen it doesn't. Liking don't go too far. Liking easy. Loving is hard. Loving is hard. On that level, I don't know. Because, that's the thing, right? She might very well have some love for me. Because, she could have just very well not have replied, or if she did reply, replied negatively or whatever, but she didn't. She truthfully said, I don't know how things could go from now, because her situation changed. That's all I can say about that. Her situation changed. So, cool. And that's fine. I always want her around because I love her. Present infinitive. This is what it is. Love is insanity in a way. Either that or over sanity, because it's like sometimes it don't make any sense. It's like by all rights you should walk away from that person and don't look back. And not in like an abusive, codependent way. People are people, they have their flaws. Situations are what they are, It gets in the way of things. It intercepts things. Love is the thing that tides you over while you smooth that out. Liking don't hold a candle to love. It's just what it is. A lot of people in my life that I've kind of broken communication with, or whatever it is, whatever the situations are, I wonder if they think that I don't love them. And it's highly possible, even though the stuff about love that I always talk about, that comes true in everything I do. I live that. Or at least I strive to live it. So that aspect of me, the people who are around me, or especially people who are kind of close to me, they know. But then that's the thing. You think people know you, but you don't really know them, which means they don't really know you. That's another situation that kind of happened recently, and that really brought that to light. It's amazing how people like assume things about you based on arbitrary things. You know, it's like no one take anyone at their word anymore. It's understandable, I guess, you know, but if you like prove yourself to the people, I don't see like why it's a question, you know. But that's a whole other thing for a whole other rant and ramble. I don't know. I think a lot of things should be squared away on Earth if love was the deciding factor in things. What's the underlying motivation for the actions that we do? It might be idealistic, but I mean, is it? You know, if it's kind of like the thing of like if one tribe have knives and the other tribe have like a gun, the first tribe needs to have either guns like the other tribe have, or bigger guns, or missiles, or something else. You always have to par or outdo the other people. I guess that's the thing with love. It's like the average person, for the most part, don't have love as their like motivation. So if you come with out of from a loving place and they not, it's like people think, well, I'm at a disadvantage because they could walk all over me or whatever, whatever. But the thing about love is, it doesn't matter what they do. It takes a lot more energy and time and resources to hate someone than it does to love. Because love is automatic. Love is. You know? You hate someone because of something. You just love them. I like my friends and certain members of my family for certain things and character traits and things they've done, but I love them regardless. Now, that being said, do I really love them? We get into it now. Because love is action. Right now, I am kind of segregating or sequestering or separating myself from people in general, because a lot of their actions are poisonous. So my justification, and justification is a dangerous thing, as we know, because you can justify anything. My justification is for me to effectively love them how I should. I can't be around them right now. Will that work? Is that just false justification? I don't know. I don't know. Because I guess it's benevolence, but it's not really love, is it? I don't know. It's a tough question I ask myself now. Since they start talking about with love, love's difficult. It's hard. You can't like cut corners. You can't debate it. You're either doing it or you're not. It's binary, man. It's seriously a binary thing. you know, because being well intentioned and stuff like that towards someone, that's not necessarily love. That is a function of love. Caring for someone is a function of love. Uh, being there for them is a function of love. These are all functions. These aren't the thing. Because I care for the most part. Not as much as I should. Just how I swaze through that shows not as much as I should. I'm okay. That's because I don't. I'm well intentioned for the majority of them, the people in my life. That I don't just outright easily just I love them and whatever. You know. So that's something I need to work on. Will I? I don't know. I honestly don't know. That might be something I fall on. And it could come back to bite me more than likely, as all things do. There's consequences. And I turn it to you now, the person listening to me right now. Do you truly love the people you think you love? Because you could do all of the actions in the world, all the functions of it in the world. That don't mean that you do. It's like rhetoric. Rhetoric to me, I tell my cousin this, I was thinking about rhetoric. Rhetoric to me is truth, or a part of the truth, that the speaker doesn't believe. So truth becomes rhetoric through the vessel of someone who doesn't believe it. Vessels are important. The conduit is important. The mode of delivery is important. That's another thing I was talking to my cousin about. I'm very diplomatic in how I approach life, because I think I said this somewhere else. It's like if you come in an antagonistic way, it could be about that and not the thing you're talking about, and that's counterproductive. That's even a function of love. Respect is a function of love. It's all functions of it. You know, people. I remember when I was in California. My friend out there, he picked me up from the house one day, and he didn't say anything. And we was driving in silence until we got to where we was going to. Now I thinking, since every time before that, every single time, he'll say, "Hey, what's up?" or whatever. He'll initiate conversation. It's almost like a ritual or just standard. So I was thinking when he didn't, that he had a problem with me. So I was gonna just ride it out. When you feel like, talking, when you get past whatever anger you have, we could, whatever. Could I have said something first? Sure. And that's probably on me in that. But overall, and this is where I get into now, overall, it came down to he wanted to see if I would say something first to prove that we were friends or whatever. I was thinking in my head at that time, just in a still small voice to myself, if everything up to that point, got into the car that day, if everything up to that point didn't prove, quote unquote, my friendship, me saying hi first, not gonna prove anything. And if it does, we can't be friends, because that's insane. That's completely and utterly insane. People live their life like that, They want the functions of a thing and not the thing itself, because you can do the functions without having the actual thing behind it. It's quite easy to say and do what people want you to say and do, and hate them, and plot their downfall, and all this extra stuff. And they happy because you say and do what they want you to say and do. They don't want you to love them. They want you to make them think that you do. Things fall apart because of that. Keeping up appearances. I don't want to keep up appearances. I want appearances to keep up with me. That's what. And we wonder why things fall apart. We don't love, and then we wonder why things fall apart. And yes, it is easy to say that. It is easy to say we should just love. It's easy to say and hard to do. I'm a living example of that. On a personal tip now, something I don't really talk about that much to people who are not in my inner circle. I haven't seen my dad since I don't know how old I was, 8, somewhere around there. That's one person that it's really hard to love. It's hard. Throughout the years, there's been from differing sources the notion that I should reconnect with him, and I've been resisting it. And as it stands right now, as I'm recording this, more than likely he's gonna die without me ever seeing him again. It's highly possible. If I could get past that, I think it would be a good thing. That's one of my litmus tests for myself as a human. And quite frankly, I'm probably gonna fail that test. I have to deal with the consequences of that when they come. It's what it is. I'm a strange person, man. I just wrote on my Facebook, it's preferable to love someone and not like them than to like them but not love them. That's my philosophy. I wonder sometimes if I would be happier if I flipped that. The answer ultimately, I guess, is no. I know that. Intrinsically, I know. But it doesn't stop it from nagging. You know? It doesn't stop me from considering. Because it's difficult. It's really difficult to choose love, because people don't want love as much as they say they do. They want the functions of it, the symptoms of it, the offshoots of it, because it makes them feel good. That's a function of selfishness, which is the antithesis of love. It's almost, I want to say it is, but almost, to be safe, impossible to be selfish in love, because by its very nature is about putting someone ahead of yourself. By its very nature. I want someone who wants me to love them. And even that's not what it is. Because I want to love someone and I want someone to love me. All the rest of that stuff can iron itself out in that. things fall into place. That's what they're supposed to do. Things do what they're naturally supposed to do. That's the thing about it. They do what they naturally supposed to do when you come at it in the right way, at the right angle. Things fall in line. You gotta get over this like thing, man. Liking is a flash in the pan. It's mercurial. Love, that's bedrock. That's foundation. And that's the glue that holds all these other things together. You have to come from a place of love for all these other things to work, all these other thought boxes to work. You have to. Everything I talk about, everything I'm about, has that as its core. Everything. Everything stretches out from that one core. Everything. That is the underlying thing of everything I'm about. We need to get on this love thing, man. It's the only thing in the end of the day that's worthwhile. Just a thought.